Good afternoon. This is Justin Lorenzen with Mid-America Fools. I'm an instructor with them, traveling around doing different drilling and training and such. And a friend of mine, David, with Valor Training, contacted me and asked if I would chime in on the Q&As that he's doing now. He came to me with a question from John Venata asking, training on new subjects is different from practice and drilling. Could you explain the importance of repetition and rehearsal to effectiveness on the fire ground? I'm always disappointed when firefighters say things like, I've done this a dozen times already, as if skills don't degrade with me. Which he's got a good point. And in the field, I work for a large metro department, career department, and my experience in the field as an officer, when I would be acting up and having a crew to get out and train, is number one, lead by example. I've had experiences as a firefighter where we'd go out and train and my officer would be the one that would want to stand back with the clipboard in shorts, kind of checking off what needs to be done while we go through the motions. And to me, I had more buy-in when I had that officer that was actually out there with us, getting in it, sweating in his gear, wear his pack, going through it, demonstrating, even if it's the same basics that we do all the time. As far as training on those basics and repetition on what may seem like menial tasks, when we can come to a point that those are second nature to us because we've done them so many times and the repetitions over and over and over to where we don't have to think about that skill, that task, then when we get on the fire ground, that's time that we've saved where we're more aware of our surroundings. We're not spending time thinking about the actual tasks that we're trying to perform, such as pulling a line, pulling it correctly, forcing a door, having our tools correct, right positions, and so on. Spend more time observing what our conditions are, what our fire is doing, what we have in front of us, and not wasting that time on stuff that we should already have down as second nature. That's the biggest thing on the repetitions, if we can get that through to our guys. Another thing that I found with my guys is if it's a motivational issue, then give them something to have them come up with something for the next shift or the next tour that they feel like they need to train on. Where's their deficiencies? Let them give the school, let them come up with the material, and then be right there in the middle as they're teaching you. And that'll give them buy-in, allow them a say, and make sure it's something relevant, something that needs to be trained on, something that we use. Some of the things that we can kind of base that off of is SMART. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard this, seen it. Keep it specific to what we want to train on. Measurable, so we can measure, timing and how we're carrying out this task. Attainable, so we can attain what that's actually attainable of what we're trying to accomplish. Keep it relevant to what we're doing, relevant to the job, relevant to our fire scenes and what we're trying to train towards. And then keep it timely. And I found with my guys that if I take them out and we go flow lines, we force doors, whichever, I'll usually kind of initiate it, get out there. Hey, let's go try this. Let's pull this line. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's stretch this. Let's stretch this house. Let's stretch the door on this specific property. And then go out there and they'll find different ways to make it faster and get more competitive with it and give them that opportunity to kind of buy in and get in on that. So by doing that, you get them engaged. Even older firefighters or some that feel like they've done this so many times, I've got this down, I don't need to do it anymore. Okay, well, if that's the case, let's go try it a different way. Or let's add a different type of event to it or a different type of element to it to make it maybe a little harder or just change it up a little bit to where it's not the same pulling the line in the drive of the station every day. Okay, all I'm doing is pulling this line. Give them a target, give them something measurable that they can come to and try to attain for that goal. And then you'll see that your crew's starting to get more competitive and actually buy into the training. And that's pretty much what's worked for me. Again, on the motivation thing, give them the opportunity to teach. Give them the opportunity to get out there and show the crew their way of doing something or what they think may be useful, and give some buy-in to that training. Absolutely, skills degrade with time. If we're not in it, we're not doing it. Over time, we lose it. So I'm right there with you. It's very important to stay on those skills, continually do them, hit them time to time, come back and forth on them, and add those into other things. So, you kind of get into the autonomy the mastery, purpose. So we get in that repetition, get in that over and over and over to where we don't even think about it, that deep practice, and then get into where we master those skills. We're getting it down. We've got not even a thought in our mind how to pull this hose line, that I need to carry it on the shoulder, drop it here, pull this coupling to the door, get on my nozzle. That's all second nature. And then we get into the purpose. Give a purpose-driven drill for them to allow to use those skills to where they're not thinking of that. Instead, while they're pulling that line, they're getting their 360, their 2 sides, 3 sides. They're looking at the structure. They're gaining that information, finding where the fire is, listening to outside information, radio communication, so on. So all that is not even thought about up until that point. So they're filling out that skill, and they get there, and bam, we're going in. We've got our information that we need ahead of time. But I want to thank Dave for letting me come on and answer this question. And there's a lot of good guys that are lined up to do some more of this. I hope you guys chime in and keep following Valor Fire Training. And again, if you need any good outside training, hit Dave up with Valor. Been through a few of his trainings, trained with him at conferences. Bang up dude, man. They've got some good information, and we use a lot of it here and share a lot of stuff back and forth. So if you got any questions, you can hit me up at I've got the training officer page on Facebook. You can email me, justin.lorenzen@outlook.com. or hit up Dave. He's got my contact information. Again, all this stuff that I talked about today, this is nothing I came up with. This is all stuff I've got from others, going to conferences, talking with guys like Dave, guys around our department, some of the other guys from bigger departments, smaller departments, any size department, career, volunteer, it don't matter. A lot of these guys got stuff to offer. So thanks for having me, and hope I answered your question.